how to meet the needs of all of our learners. The digital experience is going to help you do this. When students first log in to the digital experience, they will take a Lexile placement test. They'll place them at their instructional level where they are going to be successful, they are going to gain confidence, and they're going to learn new literacy skills. We can accommodate learners in need of beginning reading skills or foundational skills, all the way up to students who are ready to access complex text at a Lexile level of 1300. So it's there for everybody, meeting all of their needs. So with Aaliyah, our beginning reader, her lessons will include foundational skills. Brandon, our student who's 1 to 2 years below grade level, is really going to have some great intervention with key comprehension skills. And Carlos, our student who is ready to access complex text, moving closer to grade level, will be given that. Now, that individualized instruction is amazing, but we know with our struggling learners, they must be engaged in what they are learning. Well, we really thought about that, and the 21st century learner was in mind when we created Flex Literacy. With Flex Literacy, they are going to be able to customize and design their own avatars. They will be able to earn points through their activities to design their very own student room. And as they grow through the lessons, through the transition, it is in a game-like setting. While in the lessons, they will have fun, engaging games along the way and really entertaining videos that we're going to take a moment to look at. So with all that engagement, now we're really able to dig into that instruction. We've got them hooked. This is accomplished through the gradual release model, or the model guide monitor. You will notice that allows for multiple practice opportunities, and at the end of that, students will have mastery checks that are in the same format as those high-stake tests, so they really get some practice with those, and they're ready to tackle them. Let's take a look at a beginning reader lesson. Here, our friend Aaliyah would have lessons that include letter formation, letter sound correspondence, and will also include basic fluency activities where they can develop their skills in reading connected text. Here's an example. So they're getting that model of sounds, phonemic awareness as well. Now, with Brandon and Carlos, their lessons are going to look a little bit different as they are out of those beginning reader lesson bands. They will have daily practice in the activities you see here in green, as well as practice and education in skills that are going to help master the California state standards. Taking a look at Brandon's, looking at answering questions with text evidence. I'm going to move on for time's sake. And Carlos. Carlos is mastering author's viewpoint. Sake of time, I'm going to fast forward. So this is going to give Carlos great amount of confidence when he approaches author's viewpoint on that high stakes test. He'll be ready to tackle it. Now, along the way in instruction, if Brandon is struggling with answering questions with text evidence, the program will automatically provide remediation. On the other hand, if Carlos is doing a stellar job with author's viewpoint, we want to accelerate him, moving him along because every minute counts. This is where that adaptability comes into play, and you won't see this in every intervention program you look for. With FlexWorks, we're going to give teachers all the tools they need to find that remediation. So here you can see, going on to FlexWorks, a click of a button, I can see my students who can read. We're going to talk about that in the print experience. But my students that need that differentiated instruction, if they struggled in the automatic remediation. A quick click, I can print out the lesson plan for me to administer during that built-in time we're going to talk about in the print experience. quick and easy to use, and that's critical for an intervention teacher. Here you can see an individualized lesson. We also have many reports. As the students are working in the digital experience, FlexWorks is analyzing that data. So here you see a standards report. You can see the standard, the student percentage, and the class average. Also a Lexile measure report, and a student snapshot. And this shows for all three experiences. And I can also see the skills mastered, accelerated, and remediated. One click of the button. With the digital experience, that struggle to meet every student's need is gone. And most importantly, we are delivering explicit, individualized instruction to students, remediation to master those deficit skills, and acceleration to make 2 years gain in 1 year. What an amazing opportunity to give to our students. Now, I think you can see why the digital experience is the backbone of Flex Literacy, but that's just one of 3 experiences. Let's take a look at the print experience and how that can increase flexibility in instruction. With the print experience, you are dividing the class into 2 groups, with students being on the digital experience, a group being in the print experience, and those 2 groups will rotate. The great thing about the small group instruction is you're going to have options for differentiated grouping. You are going to have options if you have different accessibility to technology, and students have increased opportunity to participate in collaborative conversations in the print experience. With the print experience, students are going to have explicit instruction that is going to allow them to unlock this complex text. For example, lessons in conducting a close read. They will be able to participate in academic collaborative discussions over the piece of text, and there's built-in time for differentiated instruction that is data-driven as predicated by the digital experience. Already ready to go for the teacher. With the print experience, the students are going to build a love of learning through age-appropriate, intriguing text. Students each week will be exposed to text that covers a variety of genres, and it really helping them become broadly literate readers, which is our goal. The text complexity will increase over time as students move through the model, guide, monitor stages of instruction. By the end of the year, they're going to be working on grade level text, and this is just one step closer to getting back into that core classroom. Students will have an interactive reader which will help aid in instruction and provide universal access. This is where students are learning to read with a pencil in hand, and that's truly comprehend a text, we have to attack it. E-presentation is the online presentation tool, and this allows a visual model for our students. So when we think about Aaliyah, our beginning reader, she's just learning these skills, and she really may be following along with the model stage at this point, but as she masters those skills, she's going to be increasingly more confident. So let's walk through a week of instruction. If you'll turn in your teacher edition in front of you to the first tab, page 148, the print experience does work on a 5-day lesson plan, and the daily lessons are built around or divided into before, during, and after reading instruction. We're on day 1. You can see clearly that the weekly objectives are there for the teacher at point of use. Again, that explicit instruction that's going to allow students to really unlock the text, motivating, engaging, and building background before we even start reading. On this day, students will engage with the first reading of the text with the teacher, and there's time built in for individualized instruction, assessment and differentiated instruction. Not all programs have that time built in, and it's so crucial for our intervention students. On day 2, students continue with those comprehension skills, learning to read with a purpose and annotating their text. So again, Aaliyah, learning these skills for the first time, our beginning reader, is gaining confidence and understanding how to truly use those comprehension strategies. On day 3 of instruction, continuing to master those California state standards, learning how to answer text-dependent questions. Now Brandon, our student that has been struggling with comprehension strategies, has been working on this in the digital experience, now ready to master it in the print experience. And Carlos, on day 4, is continuing to work on conducting a close read. This is where students are continuing to highlight text evidence and really having to justify their answers. At the end of the week, again, we have that built-in time for the individualized assessments and the critical thinking activities and differentiated instruction. All there, ready for the teacher. The teacher simply goes into FlexWorks to find these pieces, and I'm going to take you live now to show you how that works. Coming into the teacher edition of Flex Literacy. The dashboard for this is extremely easy to use. I have a menu over here where I can find tabs for classroom management, my planner, gradebook, reports, and resources. And as you can see on my landing page, I have my lesson plan for the print experience right here. And I can scroll down to see, sorry, that's just not wanting, there we go. My apologies. We can see also for the project experience exactly what needs to be done. Coming back up to show you where they can find the information for who needs intervention. This is, again, when students have struggled with the online remediation and teachers need to intervene. You'll see some icons, and the one with the exclamation point, when I click on that, I can see the students that are in need of individualized assessment or individualized instruction, and by simply clicking on printables, I can see the list. I can check them off with which ones I would like printed out, and they will be ready to go when I export them. Showing you a few reports while we're here. Here's my Lexile report, quick and easy to read and analyze, to see the growth of my students, which is key. Time is of the essence, and it needs to be fast and easy to read and analyze. We're giving teachers the tools to be able to walk into any data meeting or IEP meeting with the reports and data they need to support their students. Coming back to talking about with those individualized assessments. So Miss Aaliyah, remember our beginning reader, her assessment's going to match her level of instruction. So in this case, she's going to be drawing pictures of important places, things, and people from the story we read in the print experience. After this, she will be able to work with the teacher in the decodable reader, where she can practice her letter sound correspondences. The decodable reader has 124 stories, with 2 stories per letter sound spelling. Now, Brandon is going to be working on the main idea of the story in his individualized assessment, and when he's finished, he can work in the trade book library. We have over 100 titles, trade books, in that library with activities to go along with them, and the books are both fiction and nonfiction. And Carlos will be getting closer to moving towards grade level, working on author's point of view here. Remember, he mastered that in the digital experience, and that's why now he's ready to see how it connects to another piece of text. So what a great thing for Carlos, for him to see that skill transferred to any piece of text. When he's finished, he may join the group of English language learners doing a mini lesson with the teacher, and these are all provided and all optional as needed. Lots of resources to support. So, with the print experience, we are giving students the opportunity to access complex text and the tools that enable them to do so, those key comprehension strategies. And that opportunity to participate in a collaborative discussion. We're giving teachers tools